Part of a company's vision can be seen through its official documents. That's why it's very important to create reports and other contracts effectively so to give out the right brand essence. In this section, we're going to look at the theory we learned in Module 8 of Word can be used to create efficient and clear documents very easily. So one of the big things that was shown in Module 8 is document comparison. It's a very useful tool, and it's very helpful when you're completing a document that is going to be handed in to a superior or a manager. First off, this is how we're going to be using the comparison function. So to start, you have to go into the review section under compare and click on the compare button. Next, you're going to choose your original document to compare. For this example, we're going to be using the one in Module 8, which is Fitness Center Comparison. Then you're going to use your revised document, which is ideally your the first draft or maybe the reviewed version of your document. And you're going to click OK, which is going to open a new window of a new Word document, which is going to be your comparison of Word documents. Now, this is exactly the type of situation that could happen in a startup. A manager, which could be the company's founder or one of the key partners, could just have received a memo from one of his employees, and he wants to make sure everything is done correctly. And these changes can be made very easily in the comparison section. So, for example, if one of the employees had added a table, just like here, you could very easily remove it out of the document, which would remove it from the revised document if you would not want the table in the Word document. This is especially useful in startups, since tasks are very diverse and employees must delegate in order to fit objectives, and so they might not be doing tasks that they're normally used to be doing. So it's very helpful for them. So now we're going to take a look at Module 10 and how it can help us create templates for surveys or maybe product reviews for companies. This can be very useful for startups which may not have the budget for expensive graphic design software, for example, but they still might want a visually appealing look for their documents, so this is a great option. As we learned in Module 10, using the developer function in the developer tab, we can add input sections to fill in documents. So for example, if you want to have users choose from a drop-down list for their favorite products and then enter their name, their email, you can do all that in the developer section. So for example, so it can be satisfaction surveys as was shown in the module, or it can be forms for in-company use like employee reviews or employee contracts. So there's basically a lot of uses for input functions, and a lot can be said about the responsive. Okay, last up we're going to use Access to create responsive and clear databases. Again, it can be much cheaper to use Access than other database tools, but it can still be very effective. So for example, you might have a larger database file for all salesmen in your company, and you could list all their sales and current active accounts. But to make it much easier to navigate, you could use a navigation form in order to have all their info in the same place. So we're going to be creating one now. So you would click under Navigation in the Create tab under Forms and click one of the options. We're going to use Horizontal tabs. Now, from there, you just have to drag all the elements that you would use. You can use tables. So, for example, we can have forms. We can have reports, and they would all show up right here, and you could change right away from tab to tab, which saves a lot of time and creates like a menu form for you to use. And the best thing is you can even add macros to each of your reports, so it becomes much easier. So for instance, if you want to see a file from a salesman or something, you can click on their name and program access to give you the report right away. And this is a great tool for creating menus and to organize databases in smaller companies. And so along with tools from Word learned in the other modules, documents can be created much more easily. And that's how Access and Word can help you start your startup.